Hi, this is meteorologist Brad Winter from Region Weather Live, a YouTube source for weather across the Dakotas and Minnesota. Sorry if I'm going to be just a little bit absent, I guess, this week. A few things going on the personal end. But I just felt I better get out a video here tonight, and just because there's a storm system that really seems to have ramped up a little more so than I guess at least what I was thinking, and it looks like the weather service is also really starting to hone in on this storm coming in on Wednesday and kind of persisting into the weekend. So we're just going to go ahead and take a quick look at that tonight. Now, through the daytime hours on Wednesday, we're going to have a couple of things going. We're going to have this snow really begin to ramp up across Minnesota, but we're also going to see an increase of northwest winds across South Dakota in particular as we get later in the day on Wednesday. And we'll kind of talk about the wind gusts here in just a little bit as we continue to carry on here with the snowfall. By noon on Wednesday, you can see that snow really begin to increase across Minnesota. A little bit lighter snow or more scattered snow across the Dakotas by this point, by the noon hour on Wednesday. As we get into the Wednesday evening time frame, right around 6 p.m. or so, again, more snow across central and southern parts of Minnesota. And because the temperatures are going to be so cold, we're ushering in all this cold air in behind this. This is really going to be a light, fluffy snow, and so it's going to be very easy to accumulate with this type of snow as it moves through on the day on Wednesday. And as we get into Wednesday night, right around midnight here, you can see kind of that back edge now starting to make its way out as it pushes eastward, but still plenty of snow across Minnesota as we go through the overnight hours Wednesday night. And as we get into the early parts of Thursday morning, 6 a.m., finally that back edge finally moves through and it continues to move eastward. But as I said, I'll show you here, the gusty winds park in right behind it. Really, we go through Tuesday, not too bad, really. I mean, I guess we got some teens and 20s across parts of North Dakota, northern Minnesota. Ultimately, as we go through the afternoon hours on Tuesday, those get a little bit better, save for maybe that northeastern part of Minnesota, where we could see a little bit of gust 25 to 30 possible as we get later into the evening hours, Tuesday evening. But then we kind of watch these winds gradually increase Tuesday night and more so through the day on Wednesday. Here we are Wednesday afternoon, and these wind gusts are really going to crank up out of the northwest and push eastward throughout the day on Wednesday. And as we get into Wednesday evening, right around 6 p.m., we can see how those winds pushed eastward. We got wind gusts 35, 40 miles per hour. Now, we've just laid down some freshly laid snow over areas that have already gotten tons of snow. So we're talking about the potential with these winds of some ground blizzard conditions really across a good part of South Dakota and reaching into southern parts of North Dakota as well as we get into Wednesday evening. Now, as we get closer to midnight, of course, those winds continue to press eastward, and we're probably going to be talking about probably some ground blizzard conditions reaching into Minnesota by the midnight time frame Wednesday night. Then, of course, as we get into early Thursday morning by 6 a.m., those winds continue to push eastward, and really anywhere within the red or greater here has got the potential at least of seeing some ground blizzard conditions as we get into Thursday. Thursday is really going to be kind of that miserable day, Wednesday night in through Thursday, as those winds really get cranking up. Continue through the day on Thursday, noon hour. Again, just more winds, 30, 40 miles per hour, 50 down in the southwestern parts of South Dakota. By 6 p.m. Thursday evening, some of those winds increase maybe a little more across the Red River Valley and western parts of Minnesota. And then as we get into the overnight hours Friday night, here's midnight Friday night. Boy, it almost gets worse down in across the parts of Minnesota, and by Friday morning, even more so. So, guys, unfortunately, we're going to be laying a bunch of snow, and then we're going to be dealing with winds, and we're going to be dealing with probably ground blizzard conditions in some areas across a good part of our region, really, Thursday going into Friday. And here's just a quick look at the snowfall as we go through the time frame here. By Wednesday, let's see here, Wednesday afternoon, we could see around, we'll say 2 to 4 inches, kind of in that tri-state area by this point. Otherwise, a 1 to 3 inch general by that point. Once we get into the Wednesday evening time frame, right around 6 p.m., really cranks up now. You can see by that point, we're getting in around, we'll say in that 4 to 8 range across central parts of Minnesota, reaching northeastward. And then as we get through the nighttime hours, Thursday night and into Friday morning, look at how that spreads across Minnesota and across portions of North Dakota as well, where we're talking well over 6 inches for many areas. And then, of course, we're talking about the strong northwest winds behind it as we get to later Thursday and again into Friday. And it looks like it could even carry Saturday as well. And just taking a quick look at the winds on Saturday here, Saturday morning, continuing across Minnesota, 35, 45, maybe even 50 miles per hour for some areas down in the southwest, noontime. And then by 6 p.m. Saturday evening, looks like those winds, the back edge of the winds kind of starting to creep, or at least the calmer winds, the lighter winds starting to creep up to that North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota border here. But really, ultimately, those stronger winds persisting across Minnesota throughout much of Christmas Eve, unfortunately. Christmas Day, it looks like for most areas they should lighten up. They're probably still going to be some drifting across the Dakotas, but I think by and large it looks like by Sunday I think most areas will be out of that ground blizzard conditions. So again, I apologize for the quickness and the briefness of all this, but I'll try to have some graphics so that you can take a look at what's expected for snowfall and wind-wise and any type of blizzard warnings that come out as well. So make sure you pay attention to my social media sites as I've got right up there, and I will keep you updated there. It looks like I'll try to get something late Tuesday night. If not Wednesday, I'll try to get something out for sure regarding Thursday, Friday, and going into Christmas. So until then, we will see you at that point. So for Region Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody have a good day.